everybody out there watching as well gets that same treatment. Because, Jerry, we're in for a match. The teams are here, they've loaded in, and we're getting started.
It's 2026, baby.
Woo!
The finals is here to stay, and we have Breakout back in action. North America, rise up and show us what is coming for the rest of the year. Jalen Mans, of course. This is a new face to the final scene, playing on the side of the Jab, of course. And here we are. They are squaring up against, right now, this is in pink. We've got Sloppy Varian and Team Ls. That is Team Jaggers, the remnants of Fire Straits, and they're getting dove on as we speak, Rio.
Wow, yeah, look at that res, bringing Belize back into the action, reloading that repeater, gets one decent shot, and his teammate's able to clean it up. Now giving Belize back up. We switch over to his perspective as he throws down some C4. Now he's going for the totem. We're going to see Lamp get his res right back up from his teammates and continue to fight.
All right, 2 versus 2 here, but Belize takes a chunk of damage from the SA-12. He has to turn his attention to another player, though, and that is unfortunately Belize taken out. Now it's only Normalized left up here for the Boundless, for the team in orange. Excuse us while we get our overlays sorted. It's a little bit harder than I thought to keep track of who's who. And we have a wipe up against the Big Splash. That is, of course, it would be Jab. So the box moving freely now in the hands of Varian. Get that started over on Cashout B.
Yep, Cashout B will be plugged momentarily. They're taking that zip line, taking their time as we switch over towards Grad and the rest of the Nightmare. We see them passing that vault. It's going to get plugged into Cashout A momentarily as well. And we'll have both of these Cashouts running pretty simultaneously from each other. Getting some height now as well, trying to spot them out, get into an engagement, bringing Grad down almost immediately. That repeater hits hard, Jerry.
Oh, it certainly does. I mean, it's stuck around since the end of the major. People still love running this thing on medium. Stujay just up the objective here, looking to enable a steal. They dive down onto the pink team, and it looks as though they're going to be able to get this steal. That's it. That's the transition now for team in orange. Making their way out. Tall, Dark, and Handsome have to try and defend this, but they're taking chunks here. Belize down to very low HP. He's taken out there by Grad. Everyone wants a piece of objective A.
Yeah, it is a cluster on the point. Cashout B, everybody's back with Artie and sipping on their mojitos. We shouldn't even be watching this because the action is happening at Cashout A. A flip is being attempted by the purple team right now. They are able to get it. The goo stalled them just a little bit, blocking the damage. Throwing some C4 down there and reloading that RPG. We're going to switch to Stu's perspective as he tries to find any information with the rest of his team.
He's getting shot up from the side, though. He needs to retreat. He has the ability to heal up Belize, and that's what they'll do. But in go the Big Splash. Arco taking names. He's still on this light roll that we know and love him for. Brenty finds Belize. Normalized taken down as well. At the moment, this is in the hands of Purple Team, but in come the Livewise, Grad, Lasagna, and Lamp. This is Nightmare coming in for the steal. They have to fall off of it as Grad takes massive damage. And Stooge comes in from behind, taking out Lasagna. That's a massive favor for the side of Jab, who still hold on to this in purple.
Yeah, it is all on Brad being the only person remaining, moving now towards Jalen Mans as he's on top of that rooftop. They can get this last kill on Nightmare. This will be everything that they need to secure this cash out. Just a few seconds left before it has no chance of anybody from Orange Team diving on there and getting a last-second cheeky steal. And it seems like everybody knows that as there is a little bit of a lull in the combat. As I say that, though, Belize gets a few chunks taken out of him.
That is, at the moment, Jaggers, I believe, on top of the pile. Yes, T-Mills, Varian, and Slothy in red at the moment. They had a pretty free cash out on the far side of things. Everyone wanted a piece of the action over here. But it's Jab and Jaggers on the right-hand side of your screens that are pushing up the top of the leaderboard. So we finally sort out our overlay and we can get these names flowing through our brains. That was a tough one. I'm not going to lie, Ray. Now hopefully we can lock in for the second phase of cash outs.
Absolutely. This is the second phase, as you mentioned, where all of the excitement gets dialed up as the counter starts to run down on that clock. Seeing some nice movement from T-Mills. He's standing behind this little pergola as he's wanting to get in there, but he's dodging the bullets, going directly into that dome shield, throwing an APS turret down below them. That's an interesting strat. He's getting some damage from above. Arco diving on it, and there they go. The Jaggers have gone down. T-Mills chose the hard way.
Is one of the two HHM teams getting bested there by Arco, who's sticking to his guns, namely the 93R, but we're going to turn our attention to the other side of things here. A battle between Tall, Dark and Handsome and Nightmare. All players still up currently. Nightmare rocking the HHM, but down goes the Heavy on the side of Tall, Dark and Handsome. Believes the stand-in taken out for the count. Can Normalize find that res? He's running up to the top to try and get it, but at the moment they're guarding this statue. They're not allowing the res here. Nightmare, they're making sure that they hold firm on the cash out. Normalize did just manage to sneak down and grab that though, so it looks as though they'll be able to reset on the top floor.
Yeah, nice little C4 setup for them. They're ready for the drop. We're going to turn our attention to Cashout D for a moment as we see also Jab has a great setup, but here come the Jaggers. There's that bounce pad getting a little bit closer. You can still see that they have the height advantage. RPG just deleted by that dome shield. Another dome shield going off right now. They make their way in. Variant going down in that first engagement, but it looks like T-Mills fights back and hits Brindy hard.
Taken out that again. The medium loss makes such a massive difference when it comes to sustainability. You don't have those defibs up. Emails on the other hand, he's regenerating his health and he's got Slothy in tow. Doesn't have access to Varian, who will have to point in about 10 seconds. We're going to check in on Cashout C as it's really kicking off over here. Lasagna going down and the attempted steal coming out, but they're forced back off it. The SA-12 is not going to be enough from Lamp, and they back on off. It's only Grad left now defending these spots with 30 seconds left, but he does find the kill onto Stooge with the Lewis gun. Rounding the corner though is Normalized. He's got that repeater. Surely it's only a matter of time. Takes out Grad. That's not quite the wipe as Nightmare do coin back in, but this steal should go through for Belize. Normalized. Tall, Dark and Handsome flipping the script and getting themselves back in this game.
Absolutely, they just have to hold on for a few more seconds. On the other side of things, this cash out has run down. The teams are still getting at it though. Jab down to just one member left as the Jaggers are looking for Arco to get this last little team wipe. Moving over to the other side of things, looks like another wipe just happened on Nightmare as Tall, Dark and Handsome go for the res on Belize. They get him back up and they start the push.
Nightmare coined back in there to try and push Tall, Dark and Handsome, lost their own cash out and then got wiped again on the crackback. Tall, Dark and Handsome really establishing their dominance over that matchup. And now, I mean, that's got to feel great. There's obviously a lot of kind of history between these players, lots of swaps around. You've got Normalized up against his old team effectively there. He's the one coming out on top as it stands.
Yeah, it looks like the plug is going to go off by the Jaggers, but they're immediately intercepted by Jab. Brindy goes down in that first fight, but Slothy is very low after that engagement. The Deagles are hitting hard, and Jalemans goes down in that battle. Arco, only one still standing. Nice little bite from the Deagle Banana. Can he get this last kill? And there goes Arco.
Something watching Varian on Heavy at the moment with those Deagles. Really talented player. He's been flexible. We've seen him on medium and light throughout the history of the finals, but now seeing him on those Deagles, really exciting. Honestly, I just love how flexible we're getting to see all of these players be strutting their stuff. Now we have Tall, Dark and Handsome and Jaggers plugging almost at identical times, and it's a split final pair of objectives here, which is not good news when it comes to Nightmare. They're going to really struggle to find themselves in any hope of claiming a first or second place here, but of course kill points are a thing in this as well, so playing for frags will be an option here towards the end.
Yeah, and that was a great cash-out manipulation by Jab. They just brought that whole cash-out station out into a very open area. It's going to be interesting to see if they can hold that. No, I take that back. It was actually the Jaggers that were able to manipulate that. Now there's a dome shield going down on top of them. They want to run in there. The dome shield and the mesh shield is blocking so much damage, getting into each other's faces now. The SA shotguns are hitting hard, trying to connect with anybody in there. And who is remaining? Just Varian after that. He's surviving on just a sliver, finally going down.
Those wipes And that should be a successful steal for Nightmare. They're going to put themselves back in this game, but they do still have to get across the map to make a big difference. No, in fact, that does put them in second place. We're going to see whether Tall, Dark, and Handsome can hold on for the final 30 seconds. At the moment, Nightmare, they're well set to defend this. I don't think anyone's coming for them either. Wiped our Jaggers. We'll see where they spawn. Maybe they get a chance at B. Maybe they get a chance at A. Time will tell. But they're just clearing the sightlines now. I can't see this going any other way than Nightmare. So we have a look at Tall, Dark, and Handsome. Can they hold on to this for the last few seconds? Ooh, here we go. An attempted steal coming out from Brendy. The kills are coming in for Jab, but Belize has done enough. He takes out Jailermans. Brendy goes down as well, and that's a wipe against Jab. No time left. Tall, Dark, and Handsome come out on top. A Nightmare against all the odds. Claw it back for a second place.
Yeah, Nightmare came back at the literal last minute. I did not think that there was a chance.
What we're actually talking about here. I mean, these...
Audie, you're on fire. That was awful. Anyway, I'm going to send you guys off. No. We stop that. I'm going to send you guys to Sys Horizon. You can talk this out amongst yourselves.
Space Station. Oh wait, no, not them today. Okay. Oh, man.
Artie, we're back
on Sys Horizon. Rio, it's so good to hear your voice here on the cast.
Absolutely, my friend. We go way back. And you know what? Sys Horizon is definitely one of those first maps that we casted a ton back in the day, but it looks like Varian, feeling a little aggressive, diving directly in their RPG in hand, did not decide to shoot it off just yet. The explosions are already popping off.
Oh yeah, here it is, getting ready to dive on in. It is a nice battle against Jab on the HML. Well, they're going to be eating a little bit too many RPGs for their liking. Now, of course, it is still going to be the same team sticking on HHM as we're sticking on HML. But for Team Jab, at the very least, Jailerman is able to get one before getting traded out away. And Jab now just down to Brendy. He might not have the full reset potential, even though he has the defense available. There's two heavies pushing right into his face, and that's the entirety of Team Jaggers staying up for this team fight, Rio.
Yeah, and it's interesting to note how long these team fights have gotten. You know, we see a lot of just kind of little tiny lulls that happen in these fights. They decide to go for a res or pull off just a little bit and regroup instead of just diving or aping on the point, just kind of going for it. It's interesting, almost a little bit of a respect happening between these players when they go for the setup. And I'm just not entirely used to these long fights just yet, but that's kind of what we're seeing with all of this change. But with that said, both Cashouts have now been plugged. Nightmare controlling one, and the Jaggers controlling the other on the other side. Looks like Police and the rest of TDH are starting their approach and finding their opening.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, HHM has a little bit more teeth on this map compared to most, and we are seeing that reflected in the teams that started this cash out. But as soon as I say that, Team Jab, they have just found the difference maker, especially with Brendy on that CBO1, able to take out everybody on Jaggers. That's going to flip the campus point out in their favor. We're going to jump back over to the workspace and see what Tall, Dark, and Handsome and Nightmare have for us in store. Looks like Nightmare, they're going to be losing everybody down here just at the lamp. As a 12-16 difference is going to come out in favor of Belize here. That's Tall, Dark, and Handsome, and immediately it's the HML teams that have flipped both points.
That looked really smooth as well. They barely struggled as they started that approach, getting in there and then getting the flip. They lost one person in that entire battle. It might say a lot that HML is still pretty viable, but moving our attention towards Jab controlling Cash Out A. We're about halfway done, and the rest of the Jaggers are starting their approach. Some great aim coming out from Slothy, trying to connect, just deal some damage to that mesh shield, maybe bring it down almost immediately. Brendy now forcing himself off the point, and they have to go for it. They put it down a bounce pad. Yeah, it's an interesting setup. Let's see if it works for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about that early damage, and right now, Jab is able to sustain through a little bit. They do have the additional heals via the H+ Infuser. It is going to allow them to save just a little bit of face here. As soon as Arco gets removed and that extra healing is taken out, Jaggers now have full control. Just come in and push onto the point as fast as possible. They are going to be able to get the flip there, even though Arco, he's back up from the grave. We have Brendy up on top, fighting up against D-Mills. It is going to be D-Mills that gets the shot there. Jailerman's going to fall out in fashion, and Brendy, he's the last to fall. It's Team Jaggers that get their point back. On the other side of things here, Nightmare, they're coming back for their point with a vengeance. They're going to hold on to it. They did not hold on to the steal, though. So even though they get the wipe on Tall, Dark, and Handsome, the point does go in favor of TDH.
Well, okay, so while we have a second here, Artie, is a HML better for offense and HHM better for defense? Is that what we're seeing here, or am I just kind of totally off point?
I mean, it's not a bad thought, but the thing is that it is so much more complicated than that because it depends on the approach, it depends on the point, it depends on whether or not it's an HHM team that's pushing into another HHM team. There's so many variables to it, and that's what is making this meta super interesting to watch. Is it's not just everybody running the exact same loadout running into each other. There is actual differences in what these loadouts are able to bring into each individual fight, depending on where they are on the map and depending on all the circumstances around them. I mean, that's Cashout, you know?
Absolutely. I love to see this evolution. The teams really aren't engaging each other just yet. They're kind of holding their distance, but that might all change now as Belize starts his approach. They're about to intersect directly with the Jaggers, but we're going to turn our attention towards Arco. He's setting up right now. They're getting very close to Cashout D. The flip is being attempted. They are just holding on. It does drop down, but Arco trying to connect those shots, climbing on top of the cube, switching now towards normalized perspective, getting some shots off with that repeater, trying to stay on it. He needs one more. Can he connect? No, he has to dive out of there, surviving on just 28 HP.
I mean, I'm surprised he survived it all, but there we go. T-Mills and Varian, they're going to fall. Fashion Slothy is going to be next, even though he's good for one. That is Dark and Handsome winning their fight. We're going to jump now over to Jab versus NTMR, and even though Brendy's already out of commission here, it was a trade. Lasagna had to burn those defibs back up now in order to revive one of the heavies, but we're going to be seeing Nightmare have enough space to get this flip here, but Jab, they are doing what they can to play as much time as possible. The entire team having them reset now. Jab is trying to make this as difficult as possible for Nightmare to hold on to, giving them just enough space to think that they're safe before collapsing in on it. But what is this? It's Jaggers on the way back to their cash out there with Dark and Handsome, but gonna jump back and stick on this fight for a bit till it's over, which it looks like it might as well be. Is Brendy the last one up? He is able to get one. He gets a double on the Lamp and Grad, and he picks up the res here. It's just Lasagna remaining for NTMR. Is Jab gonna be able to do this? Lasagna takes out the medium. He takes out Jalen as well. It's a 1v1 right now. This is insane to watch, but there's so much action. We still have another cash out happening on the map, Rio.
That's cash out, baby. Two teams going at it all the time. They're now taking some shots off. Normalized is hitting hard with that repeater. You were completely right. That is one of the best things that a medium can be pulling out right now. Moving over towards Varian's perspective, bringing his healing emitter around with him. Little Chuck Ball ready to throw down at his moment's notice, but here is the flip being attempted, ready to dive on it, getting some good shots off at him from above. They need to find an opening as well and just try and stall it for a little bit longer, Artie.
A little bit longer indeed. It's going to be a little bit easier for Jagger, especially now that there seems to be a couple more teams approaching this area. But look at this, Dark and Handsome, they are not able to get out of this for free. Slothy chunking out with the Lewis gun. And by the way, we have the Lewis gun in play, we have the M60 in play, we have the SC-1216 in play. We have so many different weapons playing right now. But on the medium, it's all about that CBO1 repeater. We're going to be seeing Lasagna just chunking out the rest of Jaggers, getting that team wipe. That's going to allow Nightmare to actually come in and get involved at this point. But Stooge from the top ropes going to be taken out and protecting their point there from NTMR. Lamp and Grad going to try to finish him out. Stooge, 70 HP, going to be able to escape with his life and with the cash out. It's TDH and NTMR up on top. Does Jab get their plug? Rio, it's not over yet. And these fights just continue to be just dragged out to the full extent.
Absolutely, they're at each other's throats. They want to show that they are the top team, at least for today. But Stooge is just getting kill after kill. Gonna go for a long res there from Belize. Paul, Dark and Handsome will have their entire lineup ready. What is he doing? My gosh. But we are just bouncing back and forth right now, getting connected up with his teammates. The Jaggers are ready for the next bit of action as things slow down just a little bit as they make their way now towards Cash Out A. Ready to go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jab going to be defending this, and it looks like it's just going to be a pure one-on-one team fight action. A little HHM versus HML on campus. You'll love to see it. It's like we started our match with this. But Jaggers, they're going to be approaching the point, and that's what you want to do on the double heavy, is you want to push the point with double dome and the mesh shield. You can take so much space away from the other team. This glitch is going to be everything for Jab to get that opening. But Arco, he takes one COV01 hit, and he has to back off. Brendy going to take the brunt of the damage as well as he falls out. Jalen Mans gets pushed and aggressed, and he's off now. It's just up to Arco to stay alive, but that cash out has flipped in favor of Jaggers, and here we are with, well, we've got Tall, Dark, and Handsome taking some pot shots at Jaggers as well. Varian comes back up, but this is a little bit more difficult for Jaggers now because they have to worry about Jab and NTMR approaching this cash out, and Tall, Dark, and Handsome. Everybody's making their way over to cash out A right now. Tall, Dark, and Handsome, they're getting pushed back. If they wipe, they could lose here, so they need to make sure they do not wipe, Rio.
Absolutely, the Jaggers still holding control of it. If they end up with this cash out, it will propel them towards the top, but they just need to stay alive for 15 seconds as Jab starts to make their way over there. The cash out has fallen down. They need to steal it right now. They need to stick it. It looks like they pulled off of it, and it doesn't seem like it's going to flip to anybody, but the Jaggers hold on towards the very end. So Jaggers and Tall, Dark, and Handsome are your first and second place teams after all of that chaos in Cash.
Wow. I mean, that was the
second match, you know, as a kind of final. But Rio, we're going to say goodbye to you because now me and Arlie are going to hop on the mic here for this final map, and it's going to be Las Vegas Stadium, baby.
Oh my goodness, it's Las Vegas Stadium, and it's Jerry and Artie. Oh my gosh, I used to pray for times like this.
Jardy, as no one says. We need to work on. We actually haven't worked out what our like duo name is yet, have we? Either way,
well,
let's work out what Jabba
be Harry, Jerry, and Bald Artie, but we're not doing that. What we are doing though is watching Tall, Dark, and Handsome start this engagement up against Jaggers, who have swapped to HML. Jaggers, who actually had a lot of success with HHM, have swapped it up here to keep everybody on their toes. We have Varian on.
You got bored. And now he's dead, and he's taken that L. Oh, wait, no, that was Varian that just took the L. Wow. Poetic. Now we're tuning with T-Mills, who is left up picking up the pieces here, has to res up Slothy, but in the meantime, we can see Stooge and the rest of his team, Tall, Dark, and Handsome, moving their way over to Cash Out B. The reward for such a strong opening.
A very strong opening indeed, and for Nightmare, it's a little bit of a difficult place to be in with Grad somehow surviving with his Wesh. He is just sitting in the elevator right now, waiting for that door to open. Oh, he has trigger discipline. He's actually going to be able to completely circumvent Jab.
He chose the wrong floor. He wanted to go to the bottom floor. Oh, man. That always, okay. I mean, that's quite relatable, isn't it? That happens to me all the time.
I do that in real life when I'm in an elevator. But we also have Jaggers fighting with Tall, Dark, and Handsome now. And currently, Tall, Dark, and Handsome has pulled way off at this point. Oh, but Varian with that M11 chunking out Normalize. He's going to go down. Going to remove the defibs from PDH.
Danger at Cash Out A. Danger at Cash
Has his revenge... Oh, wait, I guess his revenge taken against him by Varian there. So now Jaggers can make their move towards Objective B. And they know that they're a man up here. Belize, though. He's lurking. He's crawling. He's waiting for his opportunity as the goo barrel wants to close that gap. He has the RPG ready. Takes a chunk out of T-Mills, but he doesn't finish him off. It forces him off the skill, however, and he can finish off the light. Down goes one. Stooge picks up the pieces, but Belize is taken out. It's now 1 versus 1 between Slothy. No, it's not, in fact.
No, it's a full reset.
They are really... Oh, they've made the full reset. It's Slothy. He's toast. And that is a fantastic defense coming out from Tall, Dark, and Handsome, all off the back of Belize's stellar play. And we've got a bit of a pause coming out.
Oh, wow. I'm dizzy. Oh, my goodness. Well, you know, we couldn't get busy here, so instead we got dizzy. Anyway, now we're going to jump to Nightmare. As Nightmare and Jab are fighting up the top of the Alphuz Casino Resort. Jalen Mans chunking out the damage. Brandy lands the last shot on Lasagna. Just going to be Lamp now and dashing inside that dome is Arco. Oh. But it's going to be Jalen landing the shack shots, chunking everything out. They're going to hold on to Cash Out A here. Tall, Dark, and Handsome, they're going to finish off Cash Out B over the Angimo building. And Jerry, what a good start for everybody that's playing HML.
Yeah, it was a quick 1-2-3 jab from there. From Jab. to take down Nightmare, and now we've got Jaggers closing the distance here on Cashout. They might want an opportunity at stealing that. BES just tracking their movement there. We're going to see if Jaggers do manage to pull this off. A full 3 versus 3, and only about 15 seconds left on this Cashout, Ardy. They managed to get rid of the C4, but I don't think they have the time to go for the push, so they're just abandoning ship already, looking to push for the next vault.
Absolutely. They know that it is going to be tough to try to pry that out of Jab's hands, and so they're just going to wait for the next vault spawn instead. But Jab, they know that if someone's going to come out and shoot the C4, they're going to have to pay for that. Plastic explosives cost a lot these days, and so they're going to try and reclaim that out of Jagger's current paycheck. But Jaggers, they do escape the Alpha Active building. Vault 4 does spawn fairly close to Team Jab.
And they're going to take advantage of that opportunity, going for the tap. We see the moment of Vault 3 heavily contested between Tall, Dark, and Handsome and Nightmare. The moment is in the hands of Tall, Dark, and Handsome, but they're throwing it afar because they need to try and win this fight. Oh, a smart gateway there from Varian to nick it out of their hands, and they're going to move all the way over to the Megadome and get this started on D.
Let's see what's going to happen, though, as, well, even though Jaggers get that early start, it might not be easy for them to hold up in this position. Varian somehow escapes just 1 HP in a dream. Lamp and Grad going to be healed up to full HP, but for NTMR, as soon as they lose Grad, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult to make this approach, especially given the fact that, well, they're not too far away from the other fight that's happening. We have Jaggers and Tall Dark Handsome in their little kerfuffle up here as well. So any of these teams can get involved immediately. One team should back off to the other fight. Otherwise, Jab is just getting their cash out completely for free.
Everyone up at the moment, so really macro and movement is going to tell what happens for now. Oh, a full engage there from Jaggers, but entirely put off by an emptying of the M60 magazine from Grad there. That's value if I've ever seen it. And now we can see Jab going for a steal on Tall, Dark, and Handsome's box, who have lost BES. They've lost that heavy, that staying power, and there's nothing they can do about it. The steal will go through successfully here as Normalize gets BES back up and they try and reclaim it. Again, everyone up. Jab managed to make that exit really quickly, and it's the HML teams up against each other here, Roddy.
Oh yeah, Jab, they have to try to stop that. The RPG is not going to drop it all the way to the floor, though. But at the very least, Tall, Dark, and Handsome, they don't manage to stick that steal. So they are going to have to go for that yet again. There's the drop once more. This time a little bit more successful for Jab. But Brandy, Arco, and Jalen, they're all going to take a bunch of damage here. Brandy on half HP has to fall back into the other building. He's being chased out by Stooge, who's going to get that finish immediately. These Arco and Jalen man to pick up the pieces. And with this, BES finds Arco. Arco closes the door in his face. He's going to be able to mantle up to the top just fast enough to get out. This gives TDH more than enough space to start this steal. Stooge has a nice pitch angle as BES takes out Jalen. This could be a very successful steal for Tall, Dark, and Handsome. The heals are coming through, and Jab can't do anything to stop it. It's TDH getting Cash Out C. And on the other side of it, Team Jaggers walk away with Cash Out D.
Yeah, Nightmare wiped about 20 seconds ago by Jaggers. And look at that sorry scoreline for Nightmare. Off the back of an incredible Sys Horizon, they are now languishing last here. We see a trade go between Tall, Dark, and Handsome and Jaggers, and a lot of fighting going around C here, but it's not going to matter. That cash is in the hands of Tall, Dark, and Handsome. Some crazy shots coming out, and BES almost clawing victory from that.
Nightmare just walked into the middle of the fight between Jaggers and TDH and immediately got turned on. That was Jaggers and Tall, Dark, and Handsome fighting each other, and then Nightmare came, and both Jaggers and Tall, Dark, and Handsome stopped shooting each other to kill Nightmare, even though they're bottom. That is insane. Here we go with Jaggers. Sloth, the absolutely incredible shots against Normalize. He's going to fall out as well. They need to get this wipe out of Stooge if they want to be able to guarantee that they are going to have an easy time securing first place, because it's going to matter quite a bit on this match of Cash Out.
Tall, Dark, and Handsome and Nightmare both want a double in this situation to secure, well, for Tall, Dark, and Handsome to secure themselves a high finishing position. But Nightmare to have any chance of closing it down. Exactly, because of Double Jeopardy. This is the first time we're seeing Double Jeopardy truly coming into play in Cash Out.
But when you have Lamp and Grad on the bottom team at Cash Out, you know that there's a chance that they're going to be the ones that are going to be able to double it anyway. Let's see if that ends up happening here. 5 is in transit, and TMR, they are currently taking a bunch of damage, and Team Jaggers, well, they're going to make sure that this gets split. They get the plug, but immediately it's getting stolen?
Yeah, that is unfortunately bad news for Nightmare, who now have no chance of really surpassing anyone in the standings, unless they get a few wipes to their name as well. That steal is successful. And Tall Dark and Handsome and Jab both hold onto their boxes for now. Tall Dark and Handsome, this is excellent for them. This puts them right up at the top as long as they can hold this for the next minute and a half.
So for Nightmare, this is more important now than ever to just get kills. They have no way of getting anything other than 4th place given the current scoreline. And they need to get kills.
There's a tiny chance that they take A and then they take B, but it's so far, and like it's just not going to happen in this lobby when it's this stacked. There's a bit of trench warfare going on the top here, and it looks like Jab are just going to back away. They know that they have to protect their box. This is effectively kiting that we're seeing from them. It's working out quite well. All full strength. Only about 30 seconds left for them to hold.
Well, let's see. As far as Cashout B is concerned, it looks like it is almost said and done. But for Team Jab, they're about to get approached here by NTMR, who are looking for some easy kills. See if they can't farm something out here. At the very least, this is good for them because the overall scoreline means they'll be able to secure it above Team Jaggers. But they need to get these kills right now. And for Lamp, the Shack is hitting, but not enough.
Oh, the pad.
Healed through with the H+ diffuser and the heal beams from Jab. Right now, Nightmare, they're the ones that are going to be taking a ton of damage back. Taylor goes down. Grad Lasagna, they're going to be able to find a little bit of success here. It's just Brendy, the last one up. That's 3 more kills on the board for Nightmare. But we see Tall, Dark, and Handsome. They're currently fighting with Jaggers on their box. It's just Darian that's left up. That's going to be TDH getting the wipe here. And that is it. We have secured it for Nightmare. Unfortunately, though, Jerry and TMR, nice try, mister.
Yeah, rather pedestrian ending there. No steals going through for those final cash boxes. Tall, Dark, and Handsome and Jab just hold on to it. I think Tall, Dark, and Handsome stole it maybe with a minute and a half left. It was simple for them after that. They got the one.
You guys know, I know that we're trying to do some quick math, but oh, there we go. We don't have to do it.
I do know off the top of my head without looking. No, but
wow.
Yeah, Tall, Dark, and Handsome being 1st place. I don't think anybody's surprised by that. Nightmare, though, gapping Jab? That's interesting. That's cool to see.
I don't know if it's cool to see. It's a little heartbreaking.
Kill points. It's kill points. 13 kill points versus 10 kill points.
But it doesn't matter because it puts them both in that lower match anyway. It's Team Jaggers that have made the difference here. With consistent performances, they came 3rd, 1st, and 3rd. But a lot of kills for Slothy, Tealmals, and Varian consistently across these games has made the difference in some regards. It really is a placement. Above Jab, above Nightmare. And yeah, they're going to be joining Tall, Dark, and Handsome in the quote-unquote grand final today.
Yeah. And one thing to point out as well, though, is I think that a lot of it does have to do with the maps as far as like counting kill points like this, because on a map like Sys Horizon, it's a lot easier to get involved in multiple fights, where